Okay, today I'm doing a review on the Kings County, Brooklyn, New York gloves from Joe's Boxing Shop. Big review for me. I really think these gloves are, I wouldn't say underrated, but I don't think they're represented the way they should be. I think these gloves should probably be out there. I see some boxers out there like Amanda Serrano and stuff like that use these gloves. But ultimately, I think the gloves need way more praise than what they get. I mean, these gloves, the first impression I had of these gloves were the color of the gloves. I think the gloves itself, just when I opened up the box, I thought they were unbelievable. I think that when I saw that certain type of green color that they had, you know, uh, Joe's Boxing Shop, they have like this unique way of representing the colors of their gloves. And this one is Fort Greene, right? This is based out of Brooklyn, New York, and Fort Greene is a place in Brooklyn, New York. So I think to myself, that is such a cool way to create colorways. Now I know it takes a long time to create a certain colorway. For him, and the way he does things and the way he gets things done is he makes sure that the quality of the glove comes first. So it might take some time to get the glove. It might take some time to produce the glove, and he might produce some small patches. But the most important part that I think is that you get an unbelievable product. So when I first saw these gloves, obviously a lot of these, a lot of people who collect gloves like me, the first thing that you do is you kind of smell the glove. You smell the glove and it smells like a premium handbag. You feel the leather of the glove, and you think to yourself, this is soft, supple, thick leather. The color is just so rich. This cream color is rich. Just ultimately, there aren't any things I could say that are wrong. You get the welted seams, which I think is a really cool thing because a lot of boxing gloves nowadays, they don't do welted seams. It's more of an old school feel to a glove. This glove in particular, they're the classic horsehair model gloves. And obviously, I'm addicted to horsehair gloves. I think a lot of people do get addicted to these gloves because of the feedback that you get, the pop that you might receive for the gloves. But ultimately, I think that these gloves are just unbelievable when they first came out of the box. I was not disappointed. I love the logos. I would say that this triple cuff here is extremely dense, extremely tough. Um, this design here, even in this design here, usually gloves come with, half of a design here, half a design here, or maybe just a full colorway on the back. But ultimately, they have, such a cool colorway here. The laces is another thing that I thought was pretty impressive, how long these laces are. Premium laces. And long laces, in my opinion, are the best laces. I love the fact that they have a 16-ounce tag right there by the grip bar. Grip bar, I would say, is medium in terms of firmness. I would say maybe on a smaller side. If I were to change something, it may be that the grip bar may be a tad bit bigger. I like a bigger grip bar. We have the double thumb here and triple cuff, obviously, from before. And that was my first impression of the glove. Now, ultimately, I know that these gloves come with Turkish leather. And I think that's probably why I believe it's just such a premium leather that I'm not really used to feeling. So it's impressive. Along with that, we have a lot of other a lot of other cool things about the gloves, which is like an imported latex that they have in the glove, along with the horsehair. The padding of this glove is medium when you first get them, but obviously once you break these gloves in, they become more soft, just like any other horsehair glove, and they'll conform to your hand just like any other horsehair glove. Ultimately, once you get a glove like this, the first thing you want to find out is if it's a comfortable glove. I know originally when I saw reviews on these gloves, I think people were talking about the thumb of the glove. And I know this is the second stitch of the glove. Let me put this glove on. And I've used these gloves, and just so people can get a better perspective, I'm not the biggest person in the world, but I do have a lot of weight to me. I'm about 5'7", and I'm about 240 pounds. So when I hit the bag, I hit it pretty hard. I have not had one problem with the thumb. So I do believe that they fixed that area of the glove. Another thing about this glove is this wrist protection. Honestly, my wrist is in place. It's really hard to get your wrist to do anything, really. If you're into that, this is a perfect glove for you. Also, the padding of the glove, like I said, it's medium, but it has a good pop to the glove. So, just so we have that in perspective, this glove, unbelievable when it comes to how broken in it feels, and a beautiful pop. I love this. In my opinion, Horsehair gloves are probably the best gloves out there, but it's because of the broken in feel that you have, especially when you're sparring. You want to have a glove that does feel essentially like you can just maneuver your hands, and this is the glove to do that. You know, again, this glove has good pop, good feedback. You sink your shots in the bag. I think they excel the most when it comes to pad work and heavy bag work. I think that they're very impressive when it comes to that. Ultimately, that's a great plus. And also the liner. I mean, this liner is an extremely comfortable liner. I'm not sure what it's made of, but there is no slack in this liner. It is tight. You know, a lot of gloves, they'll have slack in the liner. You'll feel the bunching in your fingertips and things like that. These gloves do not have that problem. So ultimately, I'll just, in conclusion, I'll say that these gloves are very, very, very good gloves. I think they're about $250, and I think they're 100% worth it, honestly. I think these gloves, I've bought many gloves in my life, and I've bought gloves up to $700, up to $800, and these gloves are better quality than those gloves. And these gloves feel like the kind of glove you'll have in your life, and just keep it. You know what I mean? Like, you might show your children one day because of how good they are, how premium they are. I can't say anything really negative about the glove. The stitching, even the stitching is just solid, guys. The stitching of the glove is just, there's nothing I can say negative about the glove. Maybe at the most, maybe this patch. I'm not the biggest fan of this patch because it might agitate your sparring partners, but that's still an easy fix. You can still tape over this patch. It's perfectly fine. Another thing that it's not too big of a deal, I weighed these gloves, and in terms of the ounces of these gloves, they came in around the same ounce, but they came in underweight. So these gloves essentially were 15.6 ounces and 15.5 ounces. So they're about a half ounce underweight. Throughout the years, you'll sweat in your gloves and all that kind of stuff, and the glove will essentially get heavier, but they are underweight by about half an ounce, which is not a humongous deal because I have Mexican-made gloves that are overweight by 2 ounces, and I have Mexican-made gloves that are underweight by 1.5 ounces. But it's just something to note, and ultimately, I love these gloves, and I say that I don't really say that very often, so that's my review. Kings County, Brooklyn, New York, Joe's Boxing Shop. Get these classic Horsehair gloves in Fort Greene.